All right, so welcome. We're gonna do a muscle manual test today, and we're gonna go over four major muscles in the body. You have your posterior deltoid, which is a glenohumeral joint muscle. So we're gonna demonstrate that. We're also gonna demonstrate rhomboid major, which is a scapular thoracic muscle. And the third one we're gonna also do today is your medial trapezius, and that one is gonna be a sternoclavicular muscle as well, scapular thoracic muscle as well, I apologize. And your posterior, your pectoralis major, my words, can't get them out today. Your pectoralis major is a glenohumeral joint muscle. So those are the four major muscles we're gonna begin with today. All right, so for a muscle manual test, the first one I'm gonna do is the posterior deltoid. And the actions that this muscle does, it extends the shoulder, laterally rotates, and horizontally abducts the shoulder. Now the nerve innervation is going to be the auxiliary around C5 to C6, originates off the lateral 1/3 of the acromion and the lateral spine of the scapula. It also inserts on your deltoid tuberosity. And basically, my patient is going to be seated. And what I'm going to do is get her to extend her elbow, and she's gonna be seated with her elbows bent, and humerus is going to extend and while internally rotated. My stabilization hand is going to be on her scapula, and my resistant hand is going to be on the distal portion of the lateral humerus. And basically, what the patient is going to do, she's just going to, extend back and internally rotate her humerus and not let me push or apply resistance. So some compensations to look out for: if patient is leaning more on this side, leaning away, cheating by hiking her shoulders up. So those are things to look out for. You would also do this bilaterally, but in my situation, I will mention it, but I might not be able to get across. So, Isis, so first, you're going to go ahead and bring your elbows back. All right, perfect. So she can do that by herself, so that's a 3 out of 5. And then stabilize her scapula and resist down here, go in. And then she can do that with resistance. That's a 5 out of 5. And then I would do the same thing on this side. If she can do it, go ahead and just do it so people can see. That would be a 3 out of 5. And then I would obviously go over and stabilize because I'm injured, I can't. So it'll be a 5 out of 5. All right, so next muscle manual test we're gonna do is called the rhomboid major. So basically, this muscle, it's gonna help retract the scapula, helps with downward rotation and elevation. The neurological levels is gonna be the dorsal scapula of C4 to C5, and it originates off the spinous processes at T2 to T5. Now this muscle inserts on the medial border of the spine, of the scapula, sorry. So basically, my patient's gonna be prone with her elbows bent or elongated, I guess. There is no stabilization hand for this, or if there was, it would be actually on the opposite side of the opposite scapula. And then my resistant hand is going to be on her posterior humerus. So basically her posterior medial distal humerus. And my the movement is going to be, she's going to make sure her thumb is down, and the humerus is just going to adduct this way. So basically, if she can do it by herself, it's going to be a 3 out of 5. If she does it with resistance, it's going to be a 5 out of 5. Compensations to look out for is if she's lifting her whole body, like rotating, that's obviously cheating. And if she's just hiking her shoulders instead of completely using her arm. So what we're going to go ahead is Isis. So first, make sure your thumb is facing down, and then just go ahead and adduct. So you want to keep a line straight. Go ahead, like that. And then my resistant hand's going to be right here. So go ahead, like like that. So she can do that by herself, 3 out of 5. With resistance, 5 out of 5. I would obviously go on the other side and do it on the other side. So just because I'm injured, I can't. So she can do it by herself, is a 3 out of 5. And then with resistance, it would be a 5 out of 5. All right, so next muscle manual test that we're gonna do is the medial trapezius. And basically what this muscle does, it helps abduct the humerus, the humeral, and its nerve innervation is going to be actually the spinal accessory, so like C2, 3, and 4 are the spinal accessories, and then originates off T1 to T5 of the spinous process, if I'm correct, and inserts on the acromion of the spine, of the scapula. My bad. Patient is going to be prone with her shoulder abducted to about 90 and her thumb up. And then I'm going to stabilize her opposite scapula, and I'm going to resist her distal humerus. And basically, the movement is just going to be some horizontal abduction. Compensation to look out for as well is patient rotating her body instead of completely moving her arm up. All right, so Isis, go ahead, thumbs up, go ahead and do that. All right, because she can do that, that's a 3 out of 5. And then I would stabilize her opposite scapula, distal, and go ahead. And with resistance, she can do that, so that's a 5 out of 5. And I would obviously do the opposite side, so go ahead. That would be a 3 out of 5. And then just because I can't get over, I would stabilize and resist. It would be a 5 out of 5. All right, and our last and final muscle manual test is the pectoralis major, and one of my favorite muscles. What this muscle does is adducts and medially rotates the glenohumeral joint. Nerve innervation is going to be the C7, C7 to C8, medial pectoral. It originates off the ribs of the rib 3 to 5 and inserts on your coracoid process. Basically, what I'm going to do is my patient's going to be supine with her elbows extended, and her shoulders are going to be abducted to about 90 and slight internal rotation. I'm going to stabilize her opposite, and I'm going to apply resistance on her distal humerus. And basically, the motion is going to be, she's going to be horizontally abducting, so coming across her body. If she can do it by herself, it's going to be 3 out of 5. With resistance, it's going to be a 5 out of 5. I'm going to make sure to do it on both sides, but because I'm injured, so I'm just going to state it. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do it. So bring your arm out here, Isis. So go ahead and do it by yourself. And across, good. That would be a 3 out of 5. I would stabilize over here and resist here. Go ahead. Also would be a 5 out of 5. We would do the same thing on this side as well. She does it by herself. It's a 3 out of 5. And then with resistance, 5 out of 5. Some important thing to watch out for is compensation. So, just in case a patient is like rotating her whole body over and not just her arm. And yep,